Hey hustlers, listen, if you're stuck between rideshare, freelancing, and also reselling, I've done all three. I'll break down what works, what doesn't, and of course, which one made me the most money. Now, when we talk about rideshare like Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, again, those type of gig work apps are beneficial. I think they're beneficial for people at a certain age because when it comes to these rideshare apps, if you do the numbers and crunch exactly how much profit you're making, vice versa work, you start to see that it does demand a lot of time. Now, again, if you are someone that has a lot of time, then you're good. But if you're somebody looking to make extra money on the side of your already 9 to 5 job, this can become quite difficult. Not only because you're always out and you're always moving, it's also because they make you work around 3 times harder or 3 times more for the dollars that you would be on your job. Now, when you factor in the fact that you may be damaging the car that you're using, and also the fact that you are, and I mean, we don't really pay attention to this, but you are impacting your body. Doing all of this, you are going to be at a high risk with a rideshare app. Now, before I just talk about all of the negatives, I do want to talk about skill. There is a low skill required to do rideshare apps. You don't need much skill. You probably just need to know how to drive, right? So it's like you don't need to have customer service necessarily. You don't need to know how to articulate yourself or talk or know how to do math. You don't need to know how to sell, right? You don't need to know how to acquire assets. It's literally just driving, and this is really good. But it could be quite difficult when you are someone overthinking it, I'd say. Like if you're like, oh, I gotta have 5 stars, you can start really stressing yourself out. But again, low skill barrier, and also very easy to start because you just need a license, clear background, and you are good. And of course a car, okay? Or a scooter nowadays, right? So again, you don't need too much to start, and it's something that is fast to get started and up and running. Now, when it talks about that wear and tear that I was saying in the beginning, wear and tear, gas, all of these things are negatives, and these things will impact you. Because see, if you have a car and you're putting on all those miles and you're also risking your car when it comes to other drivers around you, the more you drive, the more risk that you have on that car. And if you're driving trying to get extra money, then that obviously means you don't want to spend no more to go ahead and fix your car. You don't want to have to spend more money when it comes to you having to get 3 oil changes a month. All of these things do factor into the fact that you're getting paid for working 3 times harder, plus you're putting a lot of strain on the asset that you already have. And this is a issue. And I'll be honest with you, it's an issue that when I actually tried it, it was done. I think I did Uber for 1 day just because I wanted to try it, and it was just something that I realized was not beneficial to me. Not only because I know how to make money without doing it, but because I started to realize that I was assuming a bunch of risk. Now, the average expense with rideshare, and this is mind-blowing, is around $11 to $22 per hour, and that's before expense. And see, that to me is astronomically insane. Now, I did some deep digging into this and did some research, and prime example, you may have a Lyft ride that may pay you $11, but that ride will take you around 40 minutes to complete. And you might have a DoorDash order that may pay you $9.95 and then get another one that pays you $8.50. But those rides together, or those orders together, cost you that hour. So it's like, well, I get it. When you hit the app and you see the money that you'll be making, it doesn't really tell you or predict in an accurate way the amount of time it would take to actually get this done, which can manipulate you into thinking that you're actually making this money in a good, reasonable time frame when you're not. Plus, you're not even including the gas. You're not including any of that. So again, this is $15 or $11 to $22. I'll say $15 if we bump it up before expenses, and that is that's quite jaw-dropping. And lastly, on the rideshare, I'll say burnout is real. I think that doing rideshare and gig apps, you'll do it in the beginning and be happy until you start realizing that the expenses are adding up. And with like ride sharing is really a benefit to a lot of people. It also is going to be something that puts people into depression, because some people actually quit their jobs when they first start, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna make money doing this. But then they start realizing, yo, I'm not really making as much as I want. And then you start realizing too, bro, every time that I go and spend my money on gas or I try to go out, I'm thinking about how many rides it took me to make this money. And these are things that you have to keep in mind, especially when you're thinking about getting into a rideshare or gig app. All right, so doing a freelancing business on Fiverr was something I did very, very early in my entrepreneur journey. And I really got to say this, man. Shout out to everybody that does do freelance work. I think that it is a privilege to have a skill where you're able to promote it, right? And I think, again, building that skill base and then being able to push it out to others is a benefit, because you're pushing out a skill that you can have to add value to somebody. So think about it like this. And you know, I have my company, wesply.com, where we sell wholesale products, but it stands for We Supply. And you know, I came up with We Supply because when I was in high school and I was thinking about what I wanted to do, it automatically clicked in my head, I want to supply demand. And that's exactly what you do when you're freelancing. You're literally supplying a demand that somebody has, right? But the issue, I would say, is definitely that it does take a while to, if you are one of those people that want to provide great service, to perfect that skill. Now, I did Photoshop, and I've also done some video editing. I've done commercials. I've also done marketing. So I've done those, and it took me around a year and a half to be able to learn those skills and perfect them on my own businesses before I actually pushed it out to try and offer it to others. So again, like these freelance apps, it is very, very beneficial if you do have that talent, but you do have to realize that that talent does take a while to be able to package and put in another person's hands for them to actually curate what they want and ask you to make it come to life. And you have that responsibility. It becomes it's very scary. It's scary because I have your project in my hands and I want your project to do great, and I got to make sure that I have the skill set to make that happen. And you know, a lot of people, they rather try to just get money instead of provide quality, so they end up being really, really bad. Now, when we talk about the cons, it's hard to start. Now, when I talk about being a skilled individual, you do have to take the time to always refine your skills. I'll be really honest with you. Like, I used to love video editing. I don't anymore. I put out so many videos on a daily basis that it became a task. It became something I dreaded. It became something I didn't like. And that really weighed on me. Burnout was really real and taxing on me. But without just that being said, hunting, like looking for people, is very taxing too, because when you're a freelance worker, yes, you do want to go and you want to let these platforms promote for you, but you got to promote for yourself, and that is a lot. It is a very depressing day when you are trying to find people and you just can't, and you just wake up one day and you're just like, oh my God, another day just trying to find somebody that needs my services. There's so much competition. That is where you'll find that it becomes really hard. But now when it comes to how much you'll make per hour, you'll make anywhere between $20 to $50 per hour doing freelance work when you get the work. And that is that's a really medium profit. I think that $20 to $50 an hour, depending on what it is cool, especially if it's like video editing or photo editing. That could actually be beneficial. So I see how people do this on a consistent basis and enjoy it. Now, I do want to make this very clear. It is great when it comes to long term, because this is something that you could build a portfolio with, but when it's short term, it takes a long time for you to get started, and this could scare people away. Next is reselling. So reselling is very low cost to start because see, when it comes to being a reseller, I think that reselling is where you accumulate assets. And this is a bit different than it would be for somebody that is freelancing or doing a gig work, right? Because Instacart, DoorDash, Lyft, Uber, all of these, it requires physical work, but no real asset behind it, except for the asset that you're hurting the car, right? You're damaging it. When it comes to freelance, there's no real asset. There is your mind being an asset, right? It is your work, your portfolio, but there's nothing that is an asset that is tangible. When it comes to reselling, that's a bit different. Reselling, it's more you are getting an asset that is tangible, something you can touch, and then be able to package out to somebody, and this can become beneficial. Now, when it comes to it being a low cost of goods, that's great, but when you really look at reselling, I think that it takes a strong-minded individual, and not a lot of us have that strong mind to deal with multiple platforms: eBay, Mercari, OfferUp, Facebook, Amazon, right? There are a lot of different platforms. It could become very scary because you're looking at everything and you're like, okay, where do I start, right? And that could be very scary, and also could set you back because you're looking at it as if, well, I don't know where to start, so I may not start at all. Now, when it comes to reselling, I think a con that I would really emphasize though is going to be the fact that when you are reselling, it is scary. The fear is going to always be king for some people. Some people will look at an investment and be like, well, I don't want to invest in this right now because I might not make my money back. Some people may buy products and then not really sell it because they're really, really scared that nobody will buy it for the price they want. Some people are going to literally just be scared, and that fear is going to take over, and it does for so many people. Now, the pros, obviously, I just made $1,200 this week flipping phones. I sell products on my website, wesply.com, wholesale to resellers and hustlers like you. I am somebody that sells on my own eBay and Mercari, assets, products, literally, even something as simple as like charging cords, anywhere from AirPod Maxes to just regular headphones. These have all contributed to me being able to stay home and film videos like this. You know, YouTube didn't really give me that power yet, but definitely assets have. And it's sort of kind of interesting because YouTube can kick me off today or tomorrow, but my assets will always be here, and I always can replenish them. And I've had phone stores, I've had warehouse, I've been able to do all of these things just because I'm selling products like this. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you, when it comes to reselling, it's self-explanatory. Like, you buy something for $1, sell it for 10. You buy something for $5, sell it for 15. You can decide your profit margin. You can sell it wherever you want. You can do pop-up shops, flea markets, and also sell online. It's a bunch of benefits to reselling. The only thing that can hold you back is you. Now, when it comes to which one is best, I know a lot of people think I'm just going to say reselling, but that's not the case. I think that it's different tiers in our lives that we are in where we need to utilize all of these in certain ways. So rideshare apps are definitely going to be beneficial when you are talking about, hey, I am dead broke. I have a car and I have a phone. Well, do ride sharing and build your bread up. You know how many people and students that I've had that didn't have money to buy products? I fronted them the products and then they paid me back after they were done their rides. You know how many people don't even start reselling until they get a certain amount of money saved up from DoorDash or Lyft or Uber? This is literally a gold mine for you to be able to get started money. So when it comes to rideshare, yes, you're damaging your car if you stick with it and you keep doing it and you do it for a living. Never do a rideshare app for a living. That is one of the most unproductive things I think you could do, and I'm really, reluctant with saying that because I know there's a bunch of people that do it, but let's be real. You're doing it because you want to or because you have to. Which one? Because honestly, if you are out there door dashing, lifting, or Ubering all the time, you're burnt out. You're chasing challenges. You're trying to consistently maintain your car. You always have issues with your car, not because you're a bad person or because you're not smart, but because your asset is being used as a tool instead of you being used as a tool. You're literally just picking people up, dropping them off, but your car is doing all the hard work, and that in a long term can become dangerous. So I would say definitely use rideshare apps if you're looking to get some startup money and then want to be able to dump it into a business or some asset. Next, if you have a little bit of money and you got some skills and patience, I definitely would then recommend freelancing, because freelancing is going to work. You hear what I just said? It's going to work. You just got to be patient. Like, think about when you go on Twitch, how many people you see talking about, I create thumbnails. They're trying to find a person that wants to indulge in their services. You know how many people email me? I edit, I do thumbnails, right? It's hard because you don't do nothing different than that person does. And I'm not going to pay you when I could do it myself. That's how people think. And again, having those objections can be very, very frustrating and very demoralizing. It can really kill your morale. But I think as a freelancer, once you look at the longevity and the long picture, you can make some good money if you find the right clients. Now, if you want profit and you want to scale and you want to be able to do this consistently with systems, of course, that's where reselling comes into play, because you can drop ship the right way, okay, using Walmart, Target, and all of these big corporations. You can resell products using a wholesaler like me, wesply.com. You can also just literally sell things around the crib at flea markets. There's so many different ways you can resell. So reselling is going to be something I think you will want to do for the long term, because this gives you a consistent side income stream. Why do you think that I resell electronics and not sweaters or not Gucci glasses or cologne? Because cologne, Gucci glasses, sweaters, Hell Star hoodies, or whatever you call them, all of these things are great, but they're going to fade. Electronics don't. Like, at the end of the day, I can walk outside and have my drawers and a shirt on and no money, and I can find somebody that wants to buy a charger from me. I can find somebody that wants to buy headphones from me. Somebody somewhere, someplace is going to need it. Now, you could say, oh, somebody's going to need this cologne if they're going out to the club. Yeah, that's a really small demographic. Or somebody's going to need this Hellstar hoodie because they going out to a pool party. Well, one, they wouldn't want to wear the hoodie to the pool party, but some people do. And then two, it's like, well, they have a bunch of different options of hoodies, right? But when it comes to chargers, no, you don't have a lot of options when you're literally going to need just a generic charger that literally is going to cost you less than it would in Target or Walmart, right? It's all about supply and demand. So that's why I don't want this to seem as if it's a favoritism, because it's not. I really genuinely think that selling products that you get is the best case scenario for anybody, because it makes you money. It's not something hard, and it's something you can do over and over again and just repeat. So again, I definitely would say reselling is one that will be great overall, and you guys should definitely try it. Now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like, comment, and of course subscribe. My name is Brandon Jones, and I specialize in helping you make an extra income stream. And if you like videos like this, definitely let me know, and I'll do more. But I want to always remain with the integrity that I do have. I do see a lot of people doing videos like this, but I feel like a lot of people blow smoke up the pipes because they try and push out just things, literally, just stuff, all right? But I wanna always give you guys insight on things I've really done and things I've really experienced, because I know that you're not watching this video for entertainment, you're watching the video for knowledge. So definitely make sure you guys subscribe if you want more. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.